My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. No, not that kind of yoga. This is a Vinyasa flow class. If you've never joined us before, it's a stronger energy practice, but there are lots of places where you can take a rest and get yourself comfortable or gather your breath. I am listening to Sass and Tude on Spotify at the effing yoga on Spotify. The link is in the chat. It will be in the comments below if you want to follow along or listen. I use a blanket and a block. We're going to start in comfortable seated position. Just comfortable seated position is whatever works for you. It could be a leg in, it could be a leg out. Cross-legged happens to work for me. If you are sitting in cross-legged position, try to unstack your ankles. If you sit crisscross applesauce, we tend to reinforce imbalance on one side or the other. So, and if you're feeling uncomfortable or you need a little relief in those hips, put a blanket or block under those knees for me. And we're gonna just start taking a moment. We're gonna pull our attention and awareness from the external to the internal. And we wanna take a scan of the body, checking in the state and quality, checking into or on the state and quality of the physical form. We want to notice, what have we done this week and how is it playing around or playing out on our body? Where are you already feeling a little ache, little tightness? And then we're going to move that attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. And we want to check in. What is hanging on from the week? What is already starting to rev up in your to-do list? And let's move those things off to the side. We want to create a nice, clear, open field of thought for the practice. We want to hold some silence so that we can spend our time only on our mat. Let's move that silence into the awareness of our breath. And we want to just notice that soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale without exerting any control over it. Let's slowly invite that breath to get a little bit deeper and a little bit longer. We want to match the length of inhale to the length of exhale. And that's the rhythm that we're going to try and maintain throughout our practice today. Wherever you are in the length and balance of that breath, let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. We're going to reach down toward the mat, and I'm going to move with my inhale into a stretch toward the ceiling. Nice big reach up, and letting that go with the exhale. All right, let's take our stretch up. We're going to work through a lateral extension today. So we're headed towards Trikonasana, triangle pose. Oh, big stretch over. And reaching on up, and we are going to switch sides. Just moving in repetition. Try to keep that shoulder open and away from the ear. We want to keep that length of neck and keep that space between the bicep and the ear. Nice and wide. Coming on up, we're going to head for our first forward fold, tracing fingers down, tucking the chin. We're going to put our weight on the elbows, and this might be a great place for the block if you have one. Otherwise, you can rest elbows anywhere on your leg, from the knees to the calves to the feet. Tucking the chin at the bottom of that fold. Let's wiggle the toes, relax the energy out of the feet, unclench the teeth. With our next inhale, lengthen on up through the arms, walking hands back. Let's stretch up toward the ceiling and release those arms open, palms up. Little shrug of the shoulders, soften the elbows. Bow the chin forward as we reach back a little behind the body. Let's trace those fingers down to the hips. Tucking hands next to hips, we're going to take our lateral tilt. So I'm just going to, with the neck or of the head, we're going to aim that ear toward the shoulder, letting the weight of the head stretch through those strap muscles, releasing down into the chest, and then taking it over to the other side. And let's do that one more time in both directions. And let's release that chin forward. We're going to trace the fingers around the front of the body, stacking cervical spine. I'm going to change the cross of my legs. If you happen to be sitting cross-legged, take a little rock side to side. We're going to work through some folding. Nice big reach. We're going to head for our lateral extension, but I'm going to turn my body across that knee and reach out. Inhaling on up, we're going to switch directions. So we're going to work that in repetition to both sides. Having problems with the English language today. Nice big inhale. I think we have one more to both sides. I lost count. I'm hitting it. I'm firing on all cylinders today. So let's take one more fold to both sides. Coming on up through center, we're going to take our forward fold. Trace fingers over, tucking chin. Release the weight of the body into the elbows. And we are going to unclench the teeth, let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth, wiggle the toes, and just take a few breaths right here. And let's lengthen through arms, walking hands back. Nice power stretch up. Oh, let's release palms open, soften the elbows. Bow the chin forward. Take that stretch behind the body, letting the fingertips rest down. Let's take one more round of our lateral extension. Oh, through the neck. Taking that slow bow forward and switching the tilt. One more time in both directions. Releasing chin forward, let's trace fingertips around the front of the body and slowly stack cervical spine. I'm going to be using a block today. I'm going to move it out to the end of the mat. If you don't have a block, that's perfectly okay. I know we're all at home. I will cue your process without the block, it will just need some modifications to be comfortable in the poses. I clearly need more coffee, so I'll be sipping that throughout our practice. I'm going to move to hands and knees. I like to pad my knees with a blanket. So 2 fist widths placed on that blanket, resting the knees around either side of the hands. Keeping the hips stacked over the knees, moving the heels of those hands out in front of you and widening up those hands. My pinkies are almost to the edge of the mat. Nice power inhale here. We're going to work a little Chakravarkasana. So that's an inhale, stretch through center. And then exhaling, releasing chin, placing forearms to the mat. And now take those hips back, bow toward the floor. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Inhaling straight through center, engaging that core, keeping the back flat. No cow pose here. Releasing the chin, resting the elbows down, and then taking those hips back as we bow toward the mat. So many jokes about cow pose. Inhaling forward. Let's do this one more time. And then we're going to move into our lateral stretch with our oxen pose. Coming on forward. Take an inhale, then we're going to push a hip out over to one side and look over the opposite shoulder. We could also call this WTF. Inhaling and switch. And let's do that 2 more times. One more in both directions. One more repetition. Coming through center, give me an angry cat tuck. Oh yeah, low back. Now continue that lean into the heels as we bow toward the mat. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Inhaling forward, let's take 1 round of oxen in both directions. Push out over to one side. And in the other direction. Coming through that angry cat tuck. Oh, feeling the low back today. All right, we're going to tuck our toes and press up into the feet. I want you to step into the center of the ball of the foot, soften the knees, soften the elbows, push down into one heel, big runner stretch here, relax the neck. And switch. Soften the elbows, shrug those shoulders toward the rib cage. And one more time. All right, we're going to look forward and walk up. Be mindful of the blanket. I'm going to take a little wider than fist width with my feet. I'm finding my block for this first round of forward fold. If you don't have a block, that's okay. Just touch the shins or the tops of the knees. Soft bend in the knees. Relax the body. Oh, take a little sway side to side. Let's bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Give me a power scoop up. Nice big reach. Big open arm sweep. Bend the knees. And let's take our hands down. We're going lateral extension. Oh, keep soft in the knees. Keep those hips stacked over the heels and to the other side. Coming on up to come down. Forward folding chair. Release. Lift the head and shoulders. Give me a reverse crunch on up. Big open arm circle. Let's take it back. Come on up. Lateral extension. Take it over. Keep those shoulder blades slightly tucked back toward the center of the spine. Coming on up to come down. Forward folding chair. We're going to trace fingertips up for a half lift. Nice, easy round. Tuck the chin, flat in the spine, pulled up into the core. Slide on down for a little forward fold. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders, scoop it on up. Big open arm circle. Coming up to take it over. Soft in the knees, big lateral extension. Engage on up. Other side. Coming on up to come down, forward folding chair. Coming on up to our half lift. Remember, it's 120 degrees. Press the hands back. Soft in the knees, forward in the feet. Tuck the chin. Coming on down for our forward fold. All right, touch the mat. We're going to step back with the right foot into a crescent lunge. I'm going to be right on the ball of my foot. I'm going to come on up, nice and easy. Soft in the knees. Lengthen out over the top of that leg. Open up those arms. Give me squish in the back knee. All right, we're coming down to plant the hands. We're going to step that front foot back for plank. Give me a little width between the hips, soft in the knees, soft in the elbows, shrug the shoulders, lift those hips just a little bit. Press up and lean back. I'm stepping into the center of the balls of the feet, soft in the knees, soft in the elbows, shrug shoulders down. Give me a push into one heel, runner stretch. Other side. All right, we're gonna walk it up. Little forward fold. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Let's come on up. Big open arm circle. And lateral extension. Let's take it over. And other side. Coming on up to come down. Forward folding chair. Trace it on up, half lift. Coming on down for forward fold. All right, bend the knees. Let's touch the mat. Left foot, step it back, crescent lunge. Give me lateral space between the feet. Coming on up in control. Soften that back knee. All right, we're going to plant the hands to step that front foot back into plank pose. Soften the knees, soften the elbows. Shrug the shoulders down. Lean on back, walk the feet up. If you want to take that calf stretch, again, go ahead. If you're not, soften the elbows, soften the knees, scoop the belly up and in. Shrug the shoulders, but lean away from the heels of the hands. I'm going to glance forward. Now, you can step forward or float, your choice, but make it silent. Yeah, forward fold. Woo! Bend those knees, lift it on up. Big open arm circle. Coming on up to take it over, lateral extension. And engage up. Other side. Coming up to come down, forward folding chair. Trace those fingers up for half lift. Press the hands back, soften the knees, tuck the chin. Coming on down to forward fold. All right, right foot, let's step back for crescent lunge. Be mindful of your feet. Lift it on up. All right, we're gonna head all the way over for our standing balance. So this is a great place for the block, but I'm going to press forward into that foot and lift high with the back leg. I have a soft bend in the supporting leg. I'm up out of the hip. I'm rotated open toward the other side of the mat. All right, I'm going to step back and I want you to press your heel into the same line as the front leg. Coming up and over. I'm going to take my shirt off here, my top layer. Starting to get hot. All right, we're going to work a little triangle pose. So turn the belly button to parallel. Balance out the hips. I have soft squish in the legs, but I'm extended. Reach those arms out to the side. And now I'm going to tick-tock down. Lift up out of those ribs. All right, I'm going to come right on over to touch the hands to the mat, to step front foot back. Plank pose. Lean back, step the feet into the balls of the mat, or into the balls of the feet. Soften the elbows, soften the knees. Lean away from the heels of the hands. Scoop that belly up. Power through the core here. I'm up out of my chest. All right, transitioning forward. Bring your glance up. Think about it. Make it silent. Step or float. Forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. Lift up. Big open circle here with the arms. Come on up and lateral extension. And switch sides. Coming up to come down. Forward folding chair. Trace it on up, half lift. Forward fold. Okay, we're headed left foot, crescent lunge. Engage on up. Okay, I'm coming down to step forward from my balance. Lift it up. Soften the supporting knee. Rotate open to stay up out of that hip. Okay, I'm stepping back, but I'm going to keep my heel in the same line as my front heel. Press on up. Turn that belly button to parallel that mat. I'm going to turn my front foot in a little bit to protect my knee. Balance out these hips. Open these shoulders. Okay, here we go. Tick-tock it down. Soften these knees. Don't let those knees lock. Keep the body rotated open. Let the head relax. Lift up to the ceiling. Lift. All right, we're going to roll over to plant the hands to step back. Plank pose. Soften the knees. Soften the elbows. Keep those hips slightly lifted. And lean back. Step for the balls of the feet. Soften the knees. Soften the elbows. Shrug those shoulders down away from the ears. Now lean back away from the heels of the hands. Engage the core here. Glance forward. Make your transition. It can be a step or a hop, but it has to be silent. Forward fold. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Let's come on right up. Big open arm circle. All right, let's lengthen it up. Soften the knees. Lateral extension. Switching sides. Coming up to come down. Forward folding chair. Trace it on up for the half lift. Bring it on down. All right, right foot, let's step it back, crescent lunge. All right, transitioning for that balance. Front leg, lengthen, soften the knee, rotate the hip open to stay up out of this hip. Little squish. All right, we're gonna step back. Put those heels along the same line. Rotate on up. I have to turn my big toe in a little bit. Balance these hips. Reach it on out. We're gonna go side, side, side. Tick-tock it over. All right, bend that knee. Now, a couple of things are gonna happen. We're gonna shift into a balance called half moon. I like my block. I'm gonna put that block right into the outside of my pinky toe so that I can shift forward and balance. Now, you can touch the top of your leg. You can touch the top of your shin. I just like the length of this block so that I can keep my body long and keep lifted up into these side ribs. So here it goes. I'm gonna press forward. Woo! Now I'm gonna take that block out even further so that I can turn my body. Whoa, okay, there we go. Don't do that. All right, coming on down. I'm gonna step back for plank. Soften the knees, soften the elbows. Whoo, lift those hips. Lean back, step into the balls of the feet. Soften the knees, soften the elbows. Scoop the belly, lengthen the back. I'm gonna glance up. I'm walking forward for this one. Forward fold. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Let's sweep it up. Big open arm circle to lateral extension. Take it over. And to the other side. Coming up to come down, forward folding chair. Half lift. Coming on down for the fold. All right, I'm gonna step back, left foot into my crescent lunge. And tuck the left foot back, crescent lunge. Bring it on up. Oh, I almost lost that one. Woo. Come on down, let's shift forward for the balance. Woo. All right, stepping into our triangle pose foot. Oh, bring it up. Wow. Working it today. Are we working it today? Turn that belly button. Soften the knees. Lengthen those arms. Here we go. All right, bend that knee. Come on up. All right, I'm heading out for my balance. I'm sweating already, guys. Whew. It's muggy today. That was a terrible extension of my body for that block. All right, nothing but grace and elegance here for yoga, please. All right, taking it on over. Here we go. I'm gonna rock forward. I'm gonna grab this block. I'm moving it out. Oh! If you don't have a block, you can touch the shin, but try to keep your body forward because this rotation open is a challenge. Now, you can keep your arm touching your hip. I should have done this on the other side. Or you can open up for this balance. And I'm gonna roll forward, oh, to step back, ow, into plank. Soft in the knees, soft in the elbows, little high with the hips. Press back, step forward, into downward facing dog. Soft in the knees, soft in the elbows. Shrug those shoulders back, stretch. Flat, flat, flat. Powered up with the core. All right, we're coming down to the knees. Releasing to child's pose. Holy cow. Wiggle fingers, roll the wrists. Take a little sway side to side. Ooh, I'm gonna grab some coffee. Guys, wow. You know, I felt good. But holy Toledo. All right, let's take a little lean into that hip. I want you to get really long into that, really heavy. And let's do it on the other side. Lean. Ooh. All right, we're going to take the right leg, lengthen out, give it a little lift. Bring that knee forward to the wrist. Turn the heel out. We're headed for pigeon pose. Raja Kapotasana. Turn that hip over. I want you square and balanced right over the center of the pelvic cradle. If you've got some room, go ahead and come down to the elbows. Widen those arms up, guys. Keep them wide. Keep your shoulders and chest open. Woo. All right, let's slowly come up out of that. Tuck the back toe, worm it forward. Let's draw that leg out and back. Give it a shake, roll it out. Give me a big hip circle. Ooh. All right. Let's take the right or the left leg back and out. Give me a little lift. All right, here we go. We're headed for that pigeon pose. Slide that left knee toward the wrist. I got to worm my foot out from underneath my hip. I'm going to tuck my back toe. Lengthen this leg, lengthen this position. Little rock side to side. Get squared up. If you've got the room, come down to those elbows. All right, let's come up. Tuck that back toe. Worm it out. Let's lengthen that leg. Big stretch up. Oh, bend it. Give it a big hip circle. Woo! All right, I'm going to walk myself forward a little bit. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way because we're coming to our back. I'm going to grab my extra layer because it's a little humid today and I don't want to stick to the mat like one of those sticky, squishy octopus you used to give your kids. Maybe you still do. My kids are not little anymore. You know, they crawl down the wall. If I don't put a layer between my back and the mat, I'm going to make that big sucking sound when we get up. Sexy part of yoga no one talks about. All right, taking a quick sip of coffee. All right, guys, let's head on back to supine. Woo! Bring those knees up, give them a squeeze. Oh, yeah. Oh, feel that low back. Wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. Let's take a little sway side to side. Whew. Okay. I'm going to take my left foot to the mat. Excuse my nose blow, but it's allergy season. Press the right heel up to the ceiling. If you have a strap, go ahead and use it. I think my strap's kind of far away today. It's way over there. I'm just going to interlace my fingers behind my hamstring, low on my leg. Take that hamstring stretch. Point that toe. Give me big circles. Draw a big circle in both directions with the toes. All right, bring that knee in, give it a squeeze. Oh. Take the ankle across that knee. Open that knee up. Give me that external rotation. Ooh, all right, let's take that foot to the mat. Press the other heel up. I'm just gonna interlace those fingers around the back of the leg. If you've got a strap, you can loop it right over the arch of the foot. Okay, point that toe. Give me big circles. Oh. And to the other direction. Ooh. All right, bring that knee in, give it a squeeze. Take that ankle across the knee, externally rotate that leg. All right, bring those knees up, give them a little squeeze. Oh. Take a little rock side to side. All right, take feet to the mat, scooch those heels a little closer to the glutes. We're just gonna work a little pelvic tilt here and kind of release some of that energy out of that lumbar structure. So just exhale all the air out of the lungs. Scoop up, just this little teeny weeny lift. Press, 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 and let it go. All right, lift it up. And release. Let's do that one more time. And release. All right, let's take the big toe out to the side of the mat. Nice and wide with the knees. We're gonna take a side lean. Let's windshield wiper it over. Inhale and switch. We're gonna do that 3 more times. One more set, one more repetition in both directions. All right, heel toe those knees in. Let's take the fingertips over the tops of the knees. Little rock side to side. We're gonna work this full Apanasana. So nice big inhale. Exhale, draw those knees towards the body. Give me a little lift of the tailbone. Whew. Now let's unwind, slide the hands down the thighs, let the feet touch the mat. All right, exhale, slide the hands up the legs, cup the knees, lift and squeeze. Oh. We're gonna do that 3 more times. And inhale. 2 more times. Last round. All right, bring those knees up, give them a squeeze. All right, let's take a little rock side to side. We're gonna do one more big twist. Now, normally we would work up to a twist and we would continue twisting, but today we did so much work in this low space. I'm still feeling some heat. This is a bad Vinyasa form, but we're gonna go for it anyway. Take a big twist on over. Draw those knees up and take it into the other side, other twist. Bringing those knees up, give them a little squeeze. All right, we're gonna press the soles of the feet together. We're gonna drop those feet toward the mat, take a little rock side to side, and let's let those knees hang. We're gonna take this reclined cobbler pose. Relieve some of that tension in those adductors. They help us stabilize when we balance and when we use our core. When we did our Trikonasana, that lateral extension. All right, let's help those legs up with our hands. All right, I want you to heel toe the feet completely off the mat. Turn the knees in. Try to touch those knees together. Ooh. All right, bring those feet in. Give them a squeeze. Ay, ay, ay. Little rock side to side. Take a scan of the body. Where would you like a little extra stretch? Maybe you have a favorite that we haven't done. Maybe you're still feeling a little bit of energy or response to the practice that we haven't released. I want you to give yourself that stretch. Give that body a little bit of honor at this point on our practice. And then we are going to start working our way into Shavasana. So I want you to think about where you're going to take your final relaxation. It traditionally is fully reclined, legs extended, arms at your sides, palms open to the ceiling. But if that's uncomfortable for you, you can take feet on the floor, knees in, little tent. You can rock on your side and take an arm, rest your head on your arm or your blanket. I'm going to take seated meditation today only because I am having some allergy issues. And I can feel it, kind of my head's draining, and that's not fun when you're laying on your back. So let's take a minute to find out where is going to work for you to be the most comfortable for final relaxation and meditation. Maybe you want to tuck a blanket under your back. Maybe you want to roll it under your neck. All right, we're going to take that time to get settled into our position. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Let's bring our attention into the space across the line of the forehead. There are tiny little muscles and all the nerve endings along the line of the eyebrows. Let's release that and feel the forehead smooth. Unclench the teeth and let that relaxation carry down through the cheeks. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Feel that energy down the strap muscles. Roll those shoulders back a little and let the shoulder blades get heavy toward the floor. Relax the biceps and triceps in that space through the arms. Soften the elbows down through the forearms, a little wiggle of the fingers, and then let the upper body get heavy toward the mat. Let's travel through the base of the neck and down the line of the spine, through the ribs to either side of the body, into the hips, a little rock side to side. Relax the glutes, and now feel the torso get heavy toward the floor. Feel that muscle group, the quads, the hamstrings around the space of the knee. Let's relax all the energy out of those legs. Down through the calves, little wiggle of the toes, little flexion of the feet. And now relax the lower body completely into the mat. We're going to pull that attention into the space of our thinking, and there might be some things kind of scratching at our attention. Our to-do list might be trying to get started. Let's hold those things off to the side for a little bit longer. We want to just give ourselves this minute or two. And then we're going to anchor that silence into the awareness of our breath. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Let's start taking some deeper breaths into lungs, slowly filling the lungs and exhaling that breath out. Big, big filling inhale, sighing that breath out. We're going to wiggle the fingers and roll the wrists. Wiggle those toes and roll the ankles. Let's lengthen the arms out to the side. Big reach into that T, and then we're going to reach them up over the head and take that big yawning, getting out of bed, re-energizing stretch. Big reach, 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 reach. Let those hands come back down toward the hips. We're going to bring a knee up and give it a squeeze. And then let's bring the other knee up and give it a squeeze. And we're going to take some rocks side to side. Roll from one hip across the low back to the other. Just taking that little rock side to side. Getting the body moving again. Until you're ready to rock completely over to one side, resting the head on the arm, and taking a moment to notice the support of the floor beneath you. Just take a breath or two right there. And then slowly working yourself up, back into seated position, whatever that looks like for you. It might be different on this end of the practice than it was at the beginning. Let's take some big shoulder rolls. Roll those shoulders back. I'm going to hook my fingers over the top of my knee and take a lean with the head away from that arm. And then slowly shift in the other direction. All right, another little shoulder rolled back, and then let's stack shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips, and let's take a scan of the body and just take a notice of the state and quality of the physical form on this end of the practice. Let's move that attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking and check in. We can start moving some of our to-do items back into our queue, but let's do that with a little bit of elbow room. No pushing, no shoving. And finally, let's just notice that natural intuitive inhale, intuitive exhale. And now we're going to release practice, taking a moment to honor your body for doing what you asked it to do today. I'm going to take this big left spinal stretch up to the ceiling. Just give me a little reach if it feels good. You don't have to join me if it's not going to work for you. Letting all of that go. And giving yourself a little bit of honor. Honoring your body for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. Thank you so much for joining me online at the fucking yoga company, keeping me safe, keeping you safe, but keeping our groove on. If you have any questions for me, my name is Julia. You can email me at yoga@jclynn.com. You can check out the schedule on the EFFING yogablog.com. We are in the process of making some things more streamlined. We're going to hook up a yoga store to the calendar items so that you can maybe get a drop-in class or have a link to some of the packages that I'm offering. Guys, I really, really appreciate you helping me support my online gig and participating in my brand of yoga. Enjoy the day. At the very least, don't run anybody off the road. I think that's a good life goal. So have a good day.